Welcome to the Charo Chess Club's YouTube channel, and in today's video we're going to go over how to create a chess study plan. So this is based on the book How to Study Chess on Your Own by Davrin Kolchesevich. He's an international grandmaster. And his book goes over specific techniques you can use to study each part of the game. But we're going to go right to the last or second to last chapter where he's talking about tracking your progress and actually making the study plan. So the 7 questions that you have to complete are: which goals would you like to achieve as a result of completing your study plan? In which time period would you like to complete your study plan? What is your available study time during that period? Which study areas, general and specific, would you include in your study plan? Which are your key study areas? Which resources would you like to use when studying these areas? And which methods would you employ when studying these resources? And so he gives an example, he gives a few examples, but if we look at this one, this is someone that's, again, training to be a grandmaster. I believe this is a study plan that he said that he used in high school. So studying 4 to 5 hours a day is quite a bit for various strategic aspects. Duration of the study plan, 6 months. Available study times, 4 to 5 hours a day on weekdays, and 6 to 7 hours a day on weekends. So that's pretty intense. So that's kind of what it takes to become a grandmaster and to be one of the top in the world, like Super GM Fabiano Caruana. In an interview, he mentioned that he studies like 8 to 9 hours of opening prep, and you can see it in his games where he literally memorizes whole games. So this is what it would take to be a grandmaster. If you don't want to be a grandmaster, if you just want to do some general improvement, we're going to see an example of my own that I just made where it's going to take far less hours in the day. Study areas: openings, tactics, endgames, middle games, general improvement. I like that he always lists what he's going to study for every area, even though he mainly wants to focus on strategy, right? But he's still going to include openings. He's still going to do tactics, things like that. And then key study areas, again, we're really looking at the middle game and endgame strategy. And then he goes to study resources. So he has to expand. And that's what I really like about his whole method here is, don't say, I just want to hit a certain elo. He never mentions a rating in any of his study plans. He mentions, what do you want to get better at? I want to get better at endgames. I think I really want to focus on, for me, I want to focus on openings. It's a very weak part of my game. So I'm going to focus on openings for a few months, maybe a year. So just picking a specific area of the game and then making sure to focus on that. So here's an example of a study plan that I created for myself. Goals: have a concrete opening repertoire memorized and play 100 games in a calendar year. And the reason for that is my openings are very weak, and also I want to play more in general, and I just moved closer to the Marshall Chess Club, which is a huge chess club in New York City, so the opportunity to play has become a lot easier. Duration of study plan, 1 year. Available study time, I put 14 hours a week, which honestly is a stretch. I don't know how he was doing 5 to 6 hours a day. I have a full-time job, so I'm going to try to hit 2 hours a day. But then if I miss them on the weekends, right, I could take a Saturday or something and say, I'm going to study for 6 hours today and really go hard on the weekend. So we're trying to do 14 hours a day. And because of that, it's going to be a little less when we talk about like openings, tactics, endgames, general. For general, it's more just, I'll look at a game. I'll look through my own games. Tactics, I do want to do tactics. I think it's really important to always do like an hour of tactics a day. Endgames, 1 hour a week, really just for YouTube video. Just say an hour worth of endgames, because it's an important part of the game, but lately I haven't been losing too many games at the endgame. I've been losing a lot in the opening, or simply just running out of time because I'm spending too much time in the opening. Key study areas, tactics, and openings. Study resources, and again, we get into the specifics. I love using books. I think if you find a really good book that's been approved by many grandmasters and recommended by many grandmasters, then I think that's always the way to go. Of course, chess schools are a great resource, as is chess.com and stuff like that. So for some of these, we're going to use multiple things like tactics. We're going to use chess.com and we're going to use a tactic book. So all of these are kind of important. But yeah, the reason I decided to go over how to create a study plan today is because I've had a lot of questions from students and from friends saying, I feel like I'm not improving. I really want to hit 900 ELO or 1600 ELO or 2200 ELO, whatever the ELO is. They're trying to improve just based on their rating. And the truth is, you have to ask yourself, okay, are you actually studying? Well, I play a lot. And it's like, well, playing on chess.com, is not enough, right? Like, what are you going to actually study? And if you even study just 2 hours a week and you say, I just want to focus on tactics, but you go out of your way to study just tactics for 2 hours a week, you're going to become a stronger, tactical player within a month, And if you focus on parts of the game that you really pay no attention to, and you really take steps to focus on that, if you just say, I'm going to study one grandmaster game a day, and try to guess each move, that's going to really help you with your planning, your strategic planning overall. So a lot of people that come up to me and they say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. I say, well, you've only played, 10 USCF games and you haven't studied anything at all. How are you really expecting to improve? You're kind of just basing it on luck. Hopefully next tournament I win 2 rounds instead of 1 round or something like that. So it's very important. Have the study plan. Realize that if you want to become a grandmaster, you want to become a high-rated player, you really need to put into hours. We saw how he was putting in 5 to 6. Fabiano Caruana talked about putting 8 hours of opening prep in every single day. So this is what it takes to really, hit the peak of chess. And I'm hoping that by just playing 100 games a day, really studying on the openings and tactics, I'm pretty sure that my peak rating, which is 1835, I think I can break my peak rating and hopefully crack 1900 within a year. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more chess content.